Hello, hello. Okay, so this is first time on, okay, maybe not first time, not really first time, but yeah, streaming on YouTube. I used to stream on Twitch, but decided that it would be better to stream on YouTube since Twitch doesn't give any benefits, and it was actually not given any benefits, or I think it would be better to develop my YouTube channel. Don't know how it works, how good it is, but we will see. Yeah, I need, like, okay, maybe next time I will remove that red button of like subscribe. It's not like I put it, I mean I put it, but it's mainly for the videos rather than for a broadcast. So we will see. Yeah, somehow quality of video is not really great. Why? I don't know, but okay. So the tournament starts in 2 minutes, and most likely today's Title Tuesday will not be as strong as it used to be, because there are many players who participate in Grand Swiss in Samarkand. So the tournament will be strong, and also like at the same time I think somebody will play from Samarkand. People don't care, like playing a classical tournament, but playing the Title Tuesday, why not? Yeah. Thank you. And also I will be talking less because obviously, like, you know, playing well even without talking is hard, but with talking it's like 2 times harder. And also they have changed the format of Title Tuesday, so nowadays it is 5 or no increment. Yeah, so it's it used to be 3+1, but since now it is a part of the qualification system to esports World Cup. That's why they removed like extra second, but instead extra second every move, but instead given just 2 minutes. And for me, for example, personally, it's fine. I see no problem about that. I think it's okay, like 5 minutes. So it means you have 120 seconds more. And it is just about how well you manage your time. And in the top, we still can see Hikaru, Carlsen, and other guys. I'm not allowed to see their the chat during the game, so I will not see your messages. And let's just play. Also, there is a 15-second delay. I think not a big deal, not a problem at all. So the guy knows something. 95 is the main theoretical move. However, the question if he knows anything else. Here we go for a6. Black is fine after cd4, but I prefer more aggressive way, allowing white to play d5 than e5, but not being able to develop the queen in an easy way. And the plan is simple. We castle, then at some point e4, b5 is also an idea. Can I play e4? I don't need to do that. Let's castle. Anyway, a good move. Yeah, a4 he played. It's actually funny to play because I have 3 cameras on. Yeah, this is the main camera, you see me. This is the Proctor camera, you don't see that camera. And also there is my mobile phone, which is responsible for my back view also for the anti-cheating system, which is Proctor about. I don't know if he's going to play g4, which would weaken his king side, but this is the only way to stop f5, because if I go f5, e4, it's just a very pleasant position for black. So he kind of has to, but he didn't do. And now we just play like I just have a great position. It doesn't mean I'm winning. The knight goes to f4, something to keep in mind. So that's why I don't really want to play knight e5 and c4. Also knight d4 is an issue. Okay, what do I do then? maybe h5 makes sense, like asking him a question if he would like to play h4, but h4 would weaken his king, so maybe even like f6 is an option, but first I would like to move my king to out of this diagonal and getting ready maybe to play f4. Maybe it was not a great idea because now I'm not really in time to do that. Okay, let's play knight f6 first. Maybe the knight will go to g4. e3 might be an idea once I play knight g4. Maybe a5 made sense, stopping all his possible play on the queen side first. Now maybe he needs to do something, yeah, he needs to play b4 maybe. Of course I will go for e3, but what else he can do, yeah? If he doesn't do anything, I simply break in like I do it now. E3, then already f4 is an option. Okay, let's play a5, just stopping all his play, yes, a bit, not worrying about b4, a5 by him. d6 is an idea, of course, and maybe d6 is something he needs to play, but he doesn't. For now at least. Because I mean, if he doesn't play d6, then his position is just worse. And I'm waiting for the right moment to break. Maybe f4 was, maybe it was already the right moment. Maybe it was no rush. Maybe he wants, obviously he wants to play knight b5. Okay, I don't mind. Maybe I could have taken his knight on c3, leaving him with a bad bishop, because now actually there is one issue on the e file, and at some point f3 or f4 by him. Oh, maybe d6 is a problem, maybe not really a problem. Okay, let's go queen e5 first. I don't like that I'm kind of waiting, because actually I could have played like maybe f4, e3 several times. This is for sure. And now he wants to play, maybe he wants to play f4, shutting down the position. So maybe I don't really, and probably I chose the worst moment to go for f4. However, his move is something. Okay, I cannot move my queen away, but I can take the pawn. Oh, actually, if he takes my queen, I have g f2 intermediate, which is probably good for me. Yes, and now I can go for queen g3. Queen f5, then there is bishop b4, so I don't really have choice. Not the best technique, saying honestly. I think I could have break with f4 or e3 in a better way, and I could have done that several times. But still, this should be winning, because okay, his d7 pawn is not a problem. My pawn is even stronger. I don't even mind to grab his h4 pawn first. d7, rook e7, knight a7. Oh, knight e6. This is something I blundered, of course. But even here, okay, like he wins the exchange, but his rook on it his rook on e2 is stuck. Knight e8, or maybe even king e8. So if he goes d7, I go king e7 and controlling d6 square. Okay. Three pawns for the exchange. This is pretty good. So of course, yeah, black is winning. Black is winning. Time, my time is better. And checkmate is coming. No, checkmate, yeah. Okay. Nice. And here, here e3, f3, I go for bishop g3. Would be simple, but this is exactly what I thought. What I felt that I missed, like maybe a very good moment to break through. And then it was actually not the best. Like he could have simply taken on f4, queen f4, and so yes, I missed the best moment to break through. And what is this is actually fun, but the advantage of 5 minutes is that some way, for some reason, I don't really know why, but it feels like the games the round starts quicker. However, like 3+1, I have no idea what to do here, so let's just make something solid. G6, I don't know, a very weird move by my opponent. I see no reason to put the bishop on g7 with weak d6 square. Let's just develop rook c1. I see no problem, just queen d2, everything is defended. This is what is important. If knight c6, like maybe I can go for knight d5, but I'm not so sure if I need to do that. Let's play rook d1, developing the rooks. Maybe the rook would be better placed on d1 and e1, but let's go c1, d1. Let's at least ask him if he plays bishop h8. Probably he will play bishop h8 because I thought why he played rook e8, but actually I see now his point. His point is to play bishop h8. This is a common idea. Oh, but he decided not to do that. So like, okay, I checked. It didn't cost me anything. Okay, why not? Now I need to attack the d6 pawn somehow. Let's defend my c4 pawn first. After knight c5, I would have to play rook e1, probably defending the e4 pawn as well. And eventually, like, my target is the pawn on d6. Okay, queen g3 is such a nice move to make. Alignment here, alignment there. And anyway, the rook was like, not maybe misplaced, but okay, now if I play rook d1, there is b5. I wanted to play rook d1. This was my idea. What do I do about that? Maybe I play knight. Maybe he can play d5. No, Not yet. Let's play knight d2. The knight on d4 was loose. So, of course, knight f5 would be a nice idea, but there is one more pawn. I wanted to play rook d1, but then b5 was annoying, so I played rook d2. My idea, rook d1, doubling the rooks on the d file, and that's it. Okay, he goes for a break. Let's see what I can do about that. I take on c7, then I take on d5, then c takes d5. He can go for maybe bishop takes d5 or something else, or even something else. I cannot do this. Yes, I thought the break wouldn't really work for him, but seems like it works. Unfortunately, that's a problem. What if I do this? Takes knight d5, queen g3, knight g3. Actually, like it's like should be fine for me. The break doesn't work. So I think I was right. Yes. Like now, if queen g3, knight g3, pawn takes, and I take with my knight, and I will be a pawn up. Still something to convert. Black will have a chance to survive in that endgame. Okay, let's make some pre-move, maybe taking here. And we lost the guy. Like, where are you, my friend? Make a move. Okay, he decided to go for this. There is no difference. Anyway, he will have to take on g3. Maybe he will take on d5 first. Doesn't really matter. So I will be a pawn up, but he will definitely have, like, he can take. And then he can take on e1 and play rook c2. And it's like the question if I have any advantage at all. A big question, actually. Let's play rook e7, attacking the knight. If the knight goes here, then I go for b4. I think the only chance, my only chance to count on something. After knight d3, maybe even a3, simply defending the pawn on b4 first, not going for d6, like knight d3, d6, knight b4, d7, rook d2. Maybe he even have knight c6 there. Yeah, I don't want his knight nearby. But knight a4, the knight is not nearby. The knight is far away. So this is, I like this. I like this. Yeah, maybe d6 or knight a4. The only question which order. Let's go d6. I don't know. No time to calculate. Maybe knight a4 was actually stronger with the idea of knight d6. I saw only knight g5 at that moment, but knight g5 there is king f6. Maybe knight a4, knight d6 was good. Because maybe now he can even play knight c3. Maybe knight c3 will be a good idea for the guy, restricting my knight. And knight e4 I think was stronger. I didn't want to give up the pawn on it too. Oh, he took it anyway. So knight e4 now. He gives check. I go there. He goes rook d1. Okay. How about knight g5 now? I will win some material for sure. I think that's good. I need to cash out. d7, by the way, is not a terrible idea. And playing knight g5 later, but knight d7 there is h6, and not so clear how I even make any progress there. Yeah, I have no squares for my knight. King f6 would be a terrible mistake because of f4 and rook f7, so he should take with the rook. I go for rook f7. Oh, what I blundered, I thought I could play rook h7 here. I missed that he will have rook d5. Shit. Okay, let's go for rook a7. In the worst case, I'm going to flag him. I'm gonna be, yes, let's say a bad guy. But what to do? This is actually what many people do in this time, with this time control. So I'm not the only one to do that. If I'm going to do that, of course. Rook f7 is something I don't really like. Yeah, shit. The problem is not even about that it might be a draw, but with the rooks it would have been way easier for me to win. Now I'm not sure at all about this position, even if it's, I mean, maybe it's just not winning at all. And the problem that it's not easy to flag it as well. Just so stupid. This, yeah, that move, of course, like, once I played it, I saw it immediately. Yeah? Here, like for example, okay, knight f6 is fine, rook a6, knight c5. Simply knight g4, completely winning endgame. No chance for black. Yeah, this is also, like, as I told you, the advantage, or maybe for somebody disadvantage. The game starts quite fast. Already a mistake by white, castling long. b5, c4 is coming, and I have won many games in this way. Knight e7, knight e5, very like a standard idea. somewhere here, people realize that it's already like something is wrong, but the problem for them, it's too late. Queen d4 makes sense if his idea is, let's say maybe his idea bishop before queen e4, knight d5, and rook d5. This is the only thing that more or less okay for white. The exchange sacrifice on d5. There is no rush for me, yes, forcing him to play b4. Now let's go for a5, and I will go back to the a file. So confident. Not even playing a3. Okay. No rush for me. Of course, I don't want to exchange the queens. Now he needs to choose a square for his queen, because otherwise knight d5 is about trapping the queen. And the guy is already down to 2 minutes. A nice idea by him, actually. Knight takes b5, and then eventually when knight takes on d6, he gives like it will be a fork. But I will do, you know what? I will do this. First taken on e4. Now we go for knight d5. Maybe what if I do knight f5? No, knight f5 is worse. And once he takes on b5, I distract his knight by taking on c3. So he goes knight c3, I take on d6, and easy win for me. If he doesn't take on c3, then I take his knight on b5. A nice attempt by him, but it didn't work, unfortunately for him. Okay, here we go. We can take. And it's time to resign. Okay. And it's finally time to develop the rook. It's finally time to castle. It was not necessary. I could have played b3, for example, just destroying the guy. I'm just looking for the way to activate my queen. And so far I don't see it. Like, okay, I can play, of course I can play queen b7. Like any move is a win. And so Actually, I thought it is checkmate, but it is not. I missed rook a4 by him. Of course, it's like remains completely winning, but okay, it was not the plan. Okay, let's go this. Now I give him a check, and we go for rook b8, attacking the pawn on b3. In this game, there is not much to show you. Honestly saying, this is all very standard stuff. I have won many games like this. You see here the position after c4 knight a7 is already better for black. Yes, and the previous one was more interesting. So his idea. So actually, queen g3 was no, it was fine. Rook cd1, but what if b5? Knight b5 and then knight takes d6. I wanted to play a rook d1, but I didn't like b5. And here d5 is actually pretty good by him. But then he made a mistake. b4, knight a4, d6 was right, knight a4. Knight g5 was fine. Oh, rook 8 and taking the rook. I didn't see that at all. But yeah, this is what this should be winning. Okay, even the engine says this, but don't play this. Yeah, allowing rook f7, of course. Are you considering playing any OTB tournaments in the near future? No, there are no nearest no, there are no tournaments. Only OTB tournament is World Rapid and Blitz in Qatar in December. Yeah, so far. The problem is that there are not too many, like, you know, I would like to play some maybe rapid tournaments, blitz tournaments. The problem is that there are no blitz tournaments, rapid tournaments, like at least with some, I don't even say decent prizes, but at least some like more or less prizes. And classical chess is like too long, too much time, like taking too much time. It's actually good that FIDE finally they announced some idea of fast classic with 45-minute and 30-second increment. Because I don't know, like who, it's like, okay, maybe I'm getting older and for me it's not really convenient to waste a lot of time. But I think overall the world is speeding up. So like we cannot like just waste 10 days and like for playing chess. Especially since there is no difference, we can play the same with the same quality, let's say 45 plus 30. maybe, let's say, maybe having more time, yes, gives a small advantage, but just small. Small is the key word, yeah. I just wanted to say that I'm a little bit afraid of knight takes e5. Honestly saying, yeah, like knight e4, then maybe knight f7 is an option. Maybe even like knight e4, knight d7 is an option. And I would have to go for bishop c3, bc3, queen d7. What is the position? Maybe I don't even like knight f7 attacking my queen. Maybe actually I have queen e7 there. Knight e4, queen. Let's just go for initiative. Hopefully there will be some initiative. Hopefully it's not about just losing in a fast way. And my idea, like what I think about the position, is that at the moment he cannot castle long, yeah, and any capture he would still not be able to castle long, and I have some time, like 1-2 moves to attack his e4 pawn, maybe even stopping him from castling. But let's see what move he will go for. Here is definitely there are some ideas like f3, maybe for example using the g3 square, maybe even taking on e4, sacrificing this way. And maybe the best thing white can do is simply playing bishop d3 and giving up the pawn. Okay, he has queen c2, still trying to defend it. What if I go for knight e4, bishop e4? Maybe it was better to leave my queen on the e file. Shit. I have queen b7, but I needed my queen here. Knight h5. Knight h5 doesn't give enough. Queen b7, f3. Maybe knight h5 there. Castling short, f5. Something like that. Not clear if there is enough compensation there. If queen e5 there is a 4. I wasted a lot of time actually, that's the problem. If he takes on a4, the position will be equal, but the problem, I have 1 minute 18 seconds, which is not much, yeah, honestly saying. But the position, like, there are no problems for me at all. Just insane. How lucky is that guy? Completely winning for me. And just being low on time. Why? This is like what? Just lost for white? What? This? And then I couldn't find like being low on time. Couldn't find the way to win. Actually, I found the way to win, and it was absolutely right. Just the problem, I had 5 seconds and I needed to make some moves. There is 6-minute break after round 4, so let's go for a short break. Okay, I'm back. So far, pretty bad result, 2.5 out of 4. However, one game was completely winning for me, as well as the other game was completely winning for me. Okay, let's go. Take the pawn. Take that stupid pawn on c4. How many times I need to pre-move that before he takes it? After bishop c3, it's interesting. Both captures good, and so this is why it's not easy to make a decision which one to go for. Okay, let's make a sneaky move, rook e1. This is a useful move for white before deciding where to move my knight. Finally it happens. Okay, let's go queen d3. At some point it might be bishop takes h6. However, usually the sac works better when white's knight is placed on f3, so then the knight could join the attack. With knight on e2 it works worse, but maybe at the same time black wouldn't allow it at all. Actually, knight b6, bishop a2, knight d5 would be enough for him to prevent bishop takes h6. But I don't care. After knight d5, my plan was to play bishop knight f4. Queen d3 was also good about stopping bishop f5, and this was actually the main idea. So now if knight f4, then I develop my bishop for 3. If knight c3, bc3, I improve my pawn structure, and the bishop becomes powerful once again. This is actually smart because, like, you know, sometimes in positions like this I go for bishop e5, but unfortunately it's not an option here because of my unprotected queen. Bishop h6, probably too optimistic. Okay, let's just go for bishop g3 then. Now if he goes here, f3, bishop h5, g4, bishop g6, queen takes g6. So the problem for black is his bishop. Ooh la la, look at this. This is so cheap. This was expected because what else he could do? And actually I need to be careful because queen h4 is coming, and queen h4 would attack f2 and h3. So, and actually I don't really know what is my bet. Oh, knight d4 is very good. Because here I go queen g3, defending both squares. Because, for example, after rook e4, queen h2 would have access to both f2 and h2 and would be a bit annoying. Knight e2 was also probably good. Makes sense. What can I say? Or he got access to h5. This is something I didn't plan. So how do I attack this stupid knight? What if I play queen g3, for example? I need to be careful here because I have too many, actually not too many. I thought rook d4 at some point is an option, but my rook is actually defended. But still, there are some unprotected pieces for me, so I should be careful about that. He can play queen c7, then I would play knight f5. I wanted to say, of course, he's not going to exchange the queens, but he did that so quickly. This is funny. And what is your rating? So not much about this game, what my opponent just blundered, and that's it. And even converting was not that not so difficult, so even I was able to convert. So if you are around 2000 as well as your opponents are, so what's the problem? Then there are no problems. Just like enjoy the tournament, yeah. And it's actually way more pleasant to play against same level or higher rated opponents. So you know, like you lose, you don't risk. You lose, you don't really um, like you know you don't criticize yourself. You are not mean at yourself. It's not like, for example, playing against like 1000. If you ask me, like one advice I could give you, then it would be just stay solid, stay strong, and draw is a good result against such a field. So you can even play as a second number. Yeah. So like saying to your opponent, "Come here and show me what you can do. If you know anything about chess, bitch." Yeah, something like that. So your mission is not to make too many mistakes, staying solid. Thank you. 10 days to prepare, just repeat some opening lines and practice tactics, like maybe half an hour tactics daily. This would be good. Who's this guy? Why is he rated why is he higher rated than me? What is this? I didn't want to play e4, so let's see if I will be able maybe to attack the d6 pawn, or after f4 I would be able to push f5. So for now the plan is simple, yeah? Like maybe a rook d1, putting more pressure on the guy. Maybe f4 right away is not a terrible idea. Because rook d1, the only issue is, like, you know, anyway, rook d8 is something easy to play for him. At the same time, if e5, bishop f5, then 93 might be annoying by him as a threat. Let's go for knight c3, better. And maybe taking on e4 with my knight. Knight g5 is one of the ideas. Taking the pawn on d6, I'm not really sure if it is a threat at all. Might be very very risky for me. Ouch. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. This might be a problem, which I somehow I thought only about rook takes d5. Why didn't I play knight g5? Shit, knight g5 would be way better. Okay, I can play queen e2, but then the pin is still a bit annoying. I'm not so sure if I'm doing okay here, honestly saying. Yeah, so e4 is not possible because of bishop b2, queen b2, bishop e4 would be a bit risky, so probably I have to take on g7 first. And now maybe black can go for f3. At least I would seriously consider this move if I played black, because this would separate my pawns. However, it would be more positional approach. You're not hoping to win any material, while king g7, e4, like still maybe he would hope to use the pin, but probably like I always have queen b2, so yeah. So f3 is better in terms of that. Queen b2 doesn't give me anything. What if, can I go for bishop f8, just winning the game? Bishop f8 wins the game, no? Attacking his queen. Bishop f8, he takes here, I take here. That's it. It was not a good idea by him, listen to me, yeah? So now he has to go for rook f8, and then maybe after bishop f3 going for something like rook takes f3, queen takes f3, bishop e4. But the problem for him after rook f8, I can also go for rook f3, a safer option. It would also be less winning at the same time, but okay, if I go for bishop f3, rook takes f3, queen takes f3, for example, bishop takes e4, I will be 2 exchanges up, and I have, in the end, I have some nice, maybe rook d7 move. So bishop f3 is enough to win the game. Let's just go for it. Or I forgot he can take here. I actually not forgot, I saw that, but yeah, here I thought queen c4 would be enough to win the game. I don't know, this is insane. This is just insane. I don't know where he took his FIDE Master title, but if he doesn't resign immediately, right here, right now, he should be... His title, we should steal it from him. Because, you know, I was always saying that if you are like, if you have a title, then like you at least should resign when it's completely lost. The only case when I think it's acceptable to keep playing is when your position was winning, and so you kind of like you don't think that your opponent deserved his win. So then it's kind of understandable. But when you keep playing in a position which is completely lost, it's like it's shame. It's a shame. I don't know. I don't know. If you have never played, if you never played e4, e5, then you're better to solve problems in your main opening. Because there are more problems in, like in the new opening, there would be more problems. You know, I understand flagging. I understand when like sometimes like people play for a win drawish position because like for example, actually, no, okay, it was not really drawish, like the position in round 2, which I was playing with white, where I had knight and 3 pawns versus knight and 2 pawns. And there were some chances, first of all. Secondly, I was winning throughout the whole game. I was the one who was playing for a win, so like I would be fine about flagging him in that game because it would be a deserved win for me. But when like the guy just now, like his position was lost and he was like he was playing, like what was his idea? I don't understand. So playing against Lazavic, Blitz superstar. Let's see. The smart way of playing is somehow leaving the king in the center. Yes, pawn structure is not so great, but the position is very concrete, so it's more about like getting ready to play g6. And I'm going for that. Okay, maybe I have time, maybe not really, but let's see. Knight c4 still not a big deal for me. And because knight d6 I just take it, I don't care. The pawn on a5 is not hanging yet, so I have, maybe if he goes after my a5 pawn, I have how many? Like I have 2 moves. Not sure if that would be enough, but let's see. So what do I do? G4 or yeah, let's go G4, then H4. Bishop E4 is actually wasting his time, because if he takes on C6, I take with my queen, while knight A5 doesn't work. So I thought like rook A4 would be a good idea for him. Rook A1, H4, then taken on A5, and then I would go for G3, and then it would be like boom. Who will be the first one to like to get somewhere? Maybe bishop a4 is a good move, who knows. Shall I go for g3, like a pawn sacrifice to open up the position? No, let's go for h4 with the idea of g3. Still I go for g3. h3 probably just g3, h2, king h1, and it will be hard for me to break through that diagonal, while g3, and if f3 I go for h3. This looks promising. Maybe now he will finally take on c6. Because this is exactly the moment when he can do that. Because if hg2, I'm not so sure about that, if I can do that. Also some stuff like queen c6 for, oh, why? What a brilliancy, but it doesn't work. Sad. That's sad. Like queen c6, knight a5, h2, king h1, then queen takes f3. But unfortunately he has knight takes b7 there. Because if queen takes f3, then eventually g2 checkmate. Nice, but not so nice. Not nice enough. I still can go for that, but because anyway he's going to grab my pawn. But maybe I can play, maybe bishop c6 is a better move. So after knight a5, moving my bishop back to a8. While if I go for queen c6, knight a5, h2, king h1, queen f3, knight b7, queen e3, bishop e3, king b7 doesn't work. I can take back on b7. That position, not so clear. What is the position? What is that position about? Let's go for bishop c6. And now I simply go for bishop a8. I have no idea what his plan is, because now I'm going to take on g2 and rook h2, rook h1, like some ideas come in, while my bishop is aiming at f3. His knight on a5 is useless. Most likely he needs just to play knight c4 simply because he doesn't have anything better. Maybe he will go for something like rook d2 with the idea of hg2, rook take g2, then I will go for rook h3. Yeah, just as expected. Let's go for this capture. Knight takes b6 might be his threat, but it's not a problem. I take with my queen. The problem that is like rook h1 doesn't give me too much, and I'm getting low on time. That is also a problem, and I have no idea what move to make. Maybe how about rook h4 attacking his bishop? Well, it looks actually something came up accidentally, but looks good. I thought about this, I saw this. Yeah, was winning, was completely winning, but time was slow, unfortunately. And bishop c6 was the best move. Rook h4 is a great move. Oh, bishop h4 was very powerful here. But actually I played excellent. The only problem was lack of time, and that this position still requires some, let's say, some time to convert. Yeah, this is the problem. With 20 seconds without increment, it's really hard. But so far, like I would say, like you say, playing well today. The only thing is like in a few in 2 games getting low on time. Bishop e6. And what if I just grab the pawn? I don't know. Bishop e6, like a very weird move, spending 38 seconds on that move and simply losing a pawn. The problem of being a pawn up is that you still have to convert it. Yeah, unfortunately, just like just being happy, okay, I'm a pawn up, yeah, haha. Unfortunately, that is not enough. And in most cases, somehow this is like magic, but in most cases, your opponent gets some compensation. Even if his position is terrible, when you grab a pawn, his position improves a bit. This is weird and something unexplainable. But believe me, this is true. And that's why our mission when we are a pawn up, our mission is to consolidate the position. So knight b3 is like cheap threat. Unfortunately, I cannot develop my bishop because of knight c4. So probably have to play rook b1. Maybe like not the move I would like to play, but knight b3 is annoying there. So something I cannot ignore. Rook c7 is would be very logical move by my opponent. Rook c8, the same story, but I go for bishop d2. And if he goes knight c4, the bishop, for a moment, the bishop goes to e1. Not forever, yeah, this is important. Not forever, but for a moment. And still I was not able really to stop him completely, let's say. Not to stop him, but to avoid any activity by my opponent. It was not possible to do that, to get, let's say, such a situation. So like his piece is active, and I need to but by the way, he is almost 2 times worse on time, lower in time, like 1 minute 30 seconds. As you remember from the previous game which I played, being low on time is a very bad idea. So d5 is an interesting move, but then takes, and in the end there is bishop f5, rook c1. Like this bishop is exactly waiting for this, for d5 by me, and then hoping to get to f5. This is, by the way, maybe just a blunder, because he can take and then knight g4. Somehow I underestimated that move. And after f4 there is bishop c5 check, there is knight d3 right away. Maybe I have knight d4, however. Maybe knight d4 is actually a very powerful move, because knight d5 I have some ideas like knight f6 mixed with bishop c3. So I decided not to go for a passive play with the f4, but even giving up the pawn back, but keeping some activity, especially since I think I win some material back, or at least like this. I go for knight e8, I go for bishop c3, forcing him to play f6, which doesn't look great for him. However, maybe he's just fine here, maybe. Yeah, unfortunately. This is insane, but he might be simply okay here. Shit. Okay, let's go for rook e1 then. Keeping in mind some idea like bishop c6. If bishop d6, then rook d1. And the final, like one of my ideas is to flag him. Also f4, I have the bishop pair. So with these 30 seconds should be completely winning for me. I'm not proud of flagging, but okay, it's not my problem, it is his problem. It is his problem that he got so low on time. And eventually it's not even about flagging, but winning in a normal way. I should have played h3 earlier, of course, but okay. Still should be fine for me, still should be winning. And especially with his time, okay, it's just about not blundering something, and that's it. I don't know what was his idea, like to just play bishop g7, develop, and that's it. Here, of course, Rook b1 is the best move. 93 is good. Knight to 1 5 is also okay, but I honestly saying I blundered that and I didn't see knight e4 in advance. Oh shit. Rook c1 is such a nice move. Okay, rook c1, what if knight c4? Oh, bishop c3. Just the funny thing, rook c1, there is knight takes e8 winning a piece. But here was also an advantage for me, so it was not even about flagging too much. And then later, maybe not the best technique. Not maybe, but not the best technique. But still, like, of course, was enough to win the game. So we have played 8 rounds. There is one more break, guys. I have 6 out of 8, nothing impressive, but not a bad result. Yeah, 6 out of 8. Staying somewhere like number 27 at the moment. And maybe if winning few games, I can get closer to top 10. It is 6-minute break now, so I will go for a short break and we'll be right back. Okay, so 1 minute before the start, 3 rounds left. I have 6 out of 8, sharing from 16 to 35th place. I'm probably going to play against somebody strong, like maybe somebody 3100, 3200. I expected somebody strong, but it didn't happen. Okay, let's go. I expected some kind of Greenfield defend, but eventually we switched for some kind of Targe defense. Probably, yeah. Even there's still some kind of d5 would be nice, but unfortunately it doesn't work at the moment. I can move my queen somewhere, for example, queen b3. Most likely black is going to play queen b4 because his queen is misplaced on a5, it's doing nothing. And also, like, I just need one move to push, to get ready to push d5. And bishop d7 is a possible move. I cannot take on b7, but bishop d7 would be met by d5 right away. So that's why, just as expected, he goes for queen b4. And actually, you know, I changed my mind. I don't want to exchange the queens. I thought I would exchange, like just playing rook fd1 and followed by d5 break, which might be good for me, might be fine for me. But I decided, yeah, why to exchange queens. So an invitation to go for d5. You know what? You don't need to ask me twice. It is not a big achievement yet for me. Also, the problem is that after knight, not a problem, but after knight a5, I can't really go for bishop c3 because he has queen c5 pinning my bishop. Yeah, so it's not like I win something immediately. I thought I would go for knight d5, but now I see that rook c8 is a bit unpleasant. So maybe actually bishop c3 makes sense in terms of okay, this was unexpected, honestly saying. What if I go for this? Attacking here, if knight c4 I go here, if bishop f6 I go e5 and I win a piece. Maybe in the end he goes for... in the end he has rook c8. Oh, but I would have... Okay. Whew. Okay, I see. This is something I missed. If knight d5, he goes for takes, bishop f6. So most likely I need to take anyway, and after rook c8 I can later grab his e5 pawn. Can I? However, I don't know why he's thinking. Why he was thinking, I don't understand. Yeah, just a bit. Like, I don't know, the guy was lucky somehow. All tactics worked for him. Should have, however, that tactics should have worked for me, not for him. Okay, let's go for this. And let's go for this. After, like, my target is the pawn on e5, but he has queen c7 actually. Rook b1 still a useful move. Plus if he goes b6, I have rook b3 attacking the queen and winning the pawn on e5. Oh, actually I wouldn't win it if he played queen c7, but he didn't. Oh, but also he can take the pawn on here. Funny. Rook c1 right away or taken on d7 first? That's the question. That's a good question actually. Hopefully he will blunder, but I guess he will not blunder. With his tactical vision, he will simply play rook d8 now. No, he didn't do that. And if bishop c5, I win material. But actually, anyway, it's hard for him to save material because rook f3, bishop e6, my two ideas, and it is coming after him. He has king e8, would be very smart move by him. But he didn't do that. Okay. Rook f6 would be nice, but it doesn't work. Okay, let's just take this one and go for rook c3. If he plays bishop c5, my rook is going to grab some pawns there, while this rook will still defend the f pawn, which is important. Also, there is another idea, h4, h5. Oh, rook f5 doesn't work, shit. But now it works. Yes, now it works. This is the end. Close your eyes and count to 10. Oh, this is not the end yet. Shit. I thought it's completely winning, but it's not. Because then the pawn on f2 would be hanging. Shit. Okay. Of course, this still should be completely winning for me. No doubts about that. You know, I don't really play too much on chess.com. I don't really play too much on chess.com. I only play when I play Title Tuesdays. But still, I should be like, even like, playing Title Tuesday, I should somehow increase my rating, because obviously when I was 2800, when I'm now like 29, 28, this is still pretty, like, pretty low rating for me. Yes, and the stupidity is that, like, when I play Title Tuesday, I usually lose games to stronger opponents, win against weaker opponents, and in the end, my rating remains somewhere like, maybe we can say the same. And so what is weird is that many of those 20 three even cannot say this word, 3,000 rated players, they way weaker than me, yes, and I would beat them, like, like, easily. So, like, sometimes I simply don't understand. Like, the guy I played just now, a few guys I played earlier, they like, I don't know, they are like, for me, like, okay, I can easily beat them. And actually today I maybe like I was winning, it's too much to say, but I think today I outplayed all of my opponents. Yeah, I don't remember, like, maybe it was one bad game for me, but I don't really remember that. I lost one game which was winning for me. I lost one more game which was pretty good for me. Like, so yeah, I won one winning game, and I also drew two, I think two winning positions, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, if I don't forget something, let's say. This guy is doing well so far. his opening choice was pretty solid, I would say. Yeah. I don't know if I can go for rook a1 or it is a bad idea. Since of course there are many interesting things going on in this position. I don't know if rook a1 is a good idea or like a risky move, leaving my back rank unprotected. Seems like there is no problem about that. At the same time, there is no, maybe we can say there is no achievement about that. Maybe this is a bad idea. I underestimated b3. Not like I underestimate. Actually, b3. Okay, I even can play knight a5. Not a great move, but I think b3 is still something. Why? What a terrible move. What a terrible move by the guy. What is that? Why not b3? Maybe, okay, maybe he wants just to make a draw and that's it. So if I take on e3, he goes for queen takes, obviously. What if I go for this one first and then I play queen a1? I don't understand the guy. Now his position is just lost. Because knight b2 is a threat. So he's if he touched the pawn, still knight b2 is a move. And he cannot even go to h2 with his king. I didn't see that. I forgot about that. But the problem for him is that even if he plays king f1, I can take on b2, winning his still winning his bishop. I didn't see that. I saw only that I can play knight e3 with a positional, with some kind of positional idea. Knight e3, he would, like, I didn't even see that he cannot play king h2, honestly saying. I thought he would go king h2, I take on e3, f e3, I play queen b2 with just a perfect position, being a pawn up and simply a winning position. But looks like things are way worse for him. And he needs to play b3 maybe, knight b2. But okay, there is completely lost for him. So I don't know. I have no, I have nothing to suggest for him. Maybe resigning would be a good idea. Because it's like, even he cannot go for a queen e2, knight b2, queen b5 activity, like, which wouldn't give him anything because of queen d1, and still king h2 is not an option. Poor guy, just losing a game in one move. I wasn't sure what to do after b3, and probably I would play knight a5, and I have no idea why he didn't play b3. Oh, I forgot. I don't remember what moment I turned off my microphone. So maybe last minute or something. I was like, I don't know why he didn't play b3. Knight c4 here, rook d1, bishop here, queen a7, b3. Yes, such an obvious move. And I told you that I wanted to play knight a5. And now bishop e3, rook d1, bishop takes d1, and yeah, an equal position. Yeah, both sides has some weaknesses. The bishop pair is not good enough, but like bishop e3. What's this? Even like you see, even knight e3 is just a disaster for white. With his bad bishop, my bishop is good. I would play like b4, e6, and slowly win in this position. Or 8 out of 10. Surprisingly, we are close to something. It's still like there are many games still playing, but okay, already not a terrible result, let's say. This guy was doing okay, just losing a game by a stupid move. But still, even this guy, he's what was his rating? Let's try to find him. Oh, okay, his rating is okay, like 3,000. Yeah. So I just don't really understand why I am not a 3,000 player on chess.com. I mean, I kind of understand because I don't really play there. And I play only Title Tuesdays and not regularly, only like from time to time. But still, even like, you know, basically speaking, if I, let's say, if I have 11 games to play, then playing it several times, then even losing to some strong players, by beating weaker players, I should increase my rating. How much time did I spend on average before becoming a title player? I have no idea because it happened when I was young. It happened like I became international master at 16 and grandmaster at 17. So like when I was a kid, so just playing, enjoying chess, not like nowadays. Like you have to suffer, studying a lot of stuff and so on, while having many other things to do in life, like earning money, for example. Yeah. I don't know how it happened that I got to 8 out of 10. Yeah? Like you remember, I was somewhere like below, and then somehow, and I'm up. Here we go. Here we are. Sharing from third to something, and playing against Liam, Liam. He's actually, I would say he's underrated, yeah, because with his chess being 30-59, it's yeah. Even today I played against few players rated 3,000 something, but way weaker than Liam. The guy used to be a world blitz champion in like maybe 10 years ago, in something like, I don't remember the year, maybe 97, 96 is the main move. What are those guys doing today? Some going for some weird moves. Or stupid by me. I thought the c5 pawn is hanging. This is why I played bishop e3. Oh. No, not a terrible move, okay, but still such a stupidity. Because I honestly thought, oh, maybe d4 instead of castling was, d4 instead of castling I should have played. Because now he will play e5. stopping me from doing that forever. Knight is also a possible move with the same idea. I had a chance. Oh, this is I like. This is I like. Here we go. b6 is a terrible move. Yeah. I mean, of course, it's not about losing the game. Maybe now he needs to play something like rook b8, and he will play for some kind of activity and so on. But b6, like e5, why not e5? Why not knight d6? Probably he completely missed my idea of playing. Oh, knight d4, there is knight c5. I should be careful. Maybe d4 is not such a great idea. Let's see. Knight d4, knight c5. The knight will be hanging. That's the problem. I would have to go probably for queen d1, bishop b7. Maybe bishop. Not so clear. Not so clear. What about bishop? Bishop d4, there is e5. Also not so clear. I was too excited about my d4. Okay, this is something I'm fine with. And this knight unfortunately doesn't have a great square to jump to. How about queen b4? Maybe improving my queen a little bit. Maybe also thinking of e5, queen d6. Maybe how about bishop h3? Well, bishop h3 actually he can play e6. Bishop h3 was a bit stupid. Maybe not a terrible move. Maybe just a little bit stupid. Because now there is one good thing about his king on g7. Oops, this one I didn't see. And I'm worse on time, that's the problem. Otherwise the position, the endgame of course is even, but he doesn't go for the endgame. He wants my blood. What's this? Fuck. Пиздец. And this is not so important, yes, like, so I should have scored 9. Okay, maybe not 9, okay, 9, I didn't have a winning position, but I should have scored 8.5 out of 11. Yeah, and we officially can claim Liquan Cliem a fucking loser. And if you remember previously, I told you that like flagging is okay sometimes, but usually it's okay when you had a winning position, while here in the game he was suffering. I mean, he was Queen a3. I actually thought about this move. Queen a3 would be nice. So throughout the whole game, yeah, here is simply knight f3 back and it would be good for me. Throughout the whole game he suffered, and like here it was just an equal position, which he also eventually got a worse position Yeah, of course, if I had more time, I would play queen d5, intending queen a8, and going after the king. And if you like still here, like yeah, I had, like, you see, a handicap of 10 seconds. It's too much, like 7 seconds, like I was 10 seconds behind, and like somewhere here I was winning, of course. Like b7, play b7 just instead of stupid rook g8. I would even win with my 11 seconds. And but this is the full stupidity. This is not stupidity, but this is like, how is that possible? Like accidentally pre-moving exactly the move that he like pre-moving rook f6. Like actually here we're already like same on time. So here there is a question: was Liam Lea a good sport? No. Yeah, so in fact I could have scored 9, and with my tiebreak maybe I would be 5th. Yeah, I would be even without my tiebreak I would be 5th, even winning a prize actually. A bit surprising. A bit surprising because I mean I got to those 8 out of 10 quite easily. Actually here I played, like you can see, for example, this guy 3000, I supposed to be the weak guy in this pairing. Yeah, but like it was an easy win for me. Here it was I should have won. Here it was an easy win. Here was even an easier win. This win was a bit lucky because he made a terrible mistake, but still. Like this lucky loser Liam. Now I see why he's 3064, but not 3150, because he's a flagger. What can I say? Still good. A decent result. Like should have been 8.5 out of 11, or even 9 out of 11, and a good result. No, you see, the point is, it's not even about result. Who cares? Yeah. The point is about my play. I almost didn't blunder anything, which is good. I played well, outplaying everybody who I played against. Yeah, even my earlier games who I played against. Let's see. Against Swan, I outplayed him being a pawn down. Okay, this was a win for me. And I outplayed Lazavik. I outplayed Liquan Liam. So in fact, I outplayed everybody today. But there is one small detail. There is one small detail. It's not enough outplaying them, but also you need to convert. You need to convert the position. You need to convert the advantage. So thank you for joining. This is first time streaming Title Tuesday on YouTube, and I will keep doing that, especially in terms of preparing for the World Rapid and Blitz in December. And also as a part, oh, by the way, how stupid I am. Like I needed to beat Liquan Liam, and then I would even get some maybe points for, this is Title Tuesday nowadays is a part of qualification system for the Esports World Cup 2026. So I would get some points and like keep scoring points. So this was the beginning. Thank you for joining, and see you later. Maybe eventually at some point I think I will also be streaming on YouTube, just like without Title Tuesday, but not this week for sure. So maybe next Tuesday I will give you some update about on that topic. See you. Bye.